At 4:39 p.m., one of them dialed emergency services.
The call lasted only seconds. Over the next 10 days, the phones would light up again and again, until they finally went silent. On April 1st, 2014, two Dutch students began a short afternoon hike in Panama. Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon were 21 and 22 years old. They chose a popular trail known as the Pianista. The weather was clear, the path seemed safe. They did not tell anyone they were in danger.
At first, everything appeared normal. This would become their last confirmed image.
Beyond this point, the trail changes. It becomes less defined, more isolated. And then, something went wrong. At 4:39 p.m., an emergency number was dialed. The call lasted only seconds. Minutes later, another attempt. But most calls never connected. The phones were powered off between attempts, possibly to preserve battery. Calls continued for several days. Later, incorrect PIN codes were entered.
On April 11th, the final signal appeared.
After that, silence. 2 months later, something was found. A blue backpack lay beside the river. It appeared undamaged. Inside were their personal belongings.
Both phones were inside.
A camera, sunglasses, money.
Everything was neatly arranged.
Strangely, it was dry. Despite heavy rainfall in the area.
Then investigators opened the camera.
Then there was a gap. On April 8th, after midnight, the camera activated again. Over 90 photos were taken. Most showed nothing but darkness. A plastic bag appeared in one frame. A plastic bag appeared in one frame. Another showed the back of Kris's head. There was no visible attacker. Months later, partial remains were discovered, scattered along the riverbanks.
Mark this one.
Authorities concluded it was likely an accident. Investigators believed they may have fallen from a height.
The terrain was unforgiving.
But not everyone was convinced.
Why were the emergency calls so brief? Why were incorrect PIN codes entered days later?
Why was the backpack found intact? What happened during those missing days? And who, if anyone, was with them? No definitive evidence of foul play was confirmed.
Yet no complete explanation exists.
Two young women entered the trail. And never returned. The final photographs remain unexplained. The emergency calls ended in silence.
The jungle keeps its secrets.
Officially, it was a tragic accident. But questions remain.
Sometimes, the mystery is not what happened but what we still do not know.